So good. I'm standing back there next to the TV with the audio turned up because, I'm just like zoned in for so many of these talks. Really grateful to have such a great caliber of speaker here with us. I'm going to bring up Joshua. Joshua, why don't you come on up and come share with us, can NFTs revolutionize education finance? Can it? Tell us all about it.
All right, man.
Let's give Joshua a hand, everybody.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. So I'm Josh Lange. I was supposed to present yesterday at the Edison, but they had obviously some schedule mix-ups, and so I'm usually presenting for NFTs for Good. This is a social project, a non-profit project, but I'm glad to be here and be able to present anyway. And I want to just say before I start that I was a volunteer here. And also, the management is really great. I don't know if you know Jody Rich or Cameron Bell, but they've done an extraordinary job here. And then all the team, I want to say thank you to all the volunteers and everybody in the production team. They've done an amazing job as well. Now, I'm talking about something that might not be so fun and sexy on NFTs. I'm talking about something that's called student debt. Does anybody know anybody that has student debt, or a family member, or maybe you, or maybe your child has student debt? All right. Well, I tell you what, out there outside on the front of this, in the front of this theater, it says, "The truth will set you free." And I tell you what, education is not free in this country. There's $1.7 trillion in student debt in this country. 8% of the GDP is affecting 46 million Americans with an average of $38,000. And I'm going to show you today, in the next few minutes, how people are using NFTs to pay off their student debt and to pay for student costs and to pay for education for their kids. I'm going to show you some ways that people are doing that. It's very exciting, and I love the creativity. And I know some of you are creators yourself, and you're going to come up with new creative solutions for education. So I'm very excited about that. But I'm a professor out in Europe, and so I like to do tests. And so we have a little test today to see who the real NFT enthusiasts are today. Can anybody identify any one of these pictures? Maybe the girl. Somebody got Dali. Absolutely. How do I do this here? Oh, that's the wrong way. Oops. Okay. All right. Now as we get to NFTs. What's the first one? That's an easy one. Bored Ape. Right. Okay. What's the next one? LeBron James, all right. Now, and then the third one, CryptoPunks, right? Now, we all know these type of famous NFTs, but did you know that the people that own these NFTs used it for education, debt, and student fees and costs? Probably didn't know that because everybody's talking about people using NFTs to buy Lamborghinis and things like that. But there's 4 ways that you can use NFTs to pay for student loans, student debt. You can create, obviously, creators are paying in art schools and things like that. You can flip, of course, you can buy and sell. You can store, and like, for example, if you want to pay for the education for your kids at a later time, you can buy it as an asset and then store it and then trade it later for more money. And then you can also give people NFTs. And I've created a platform where you can do that. It's the FAFSA, FAFCSA.org, free application for crypto student aid. You can read people's stories on there that have serious debt, and then you can actually drop them an NFT if you want to help them out with their student debt. So let's do the test here. This guy here was at NFT.NYC last year. He's a 13-year-old artist. Does anybody know who he is? Yeah, that's right, Fucocious. And he has used some of his wealth in order to fund art and design programs at art schools and design schools, okay? So that's one way people are using NFTs and the wealth that's generated from this in order to pay for student loans. And so you can have new markets and funding sources. And then somebody mentioned Dali. Does anybody know the name of this famous painting? Whoa, wow, persistence of memory. Now there's an expert, an art expert right there. With persistence of memory, what they've done, a design school in Slovakia has taken this and other famous works of art and scrambled them, kind of like a fractionalized thing, but scrambled the art to make it warped and then sold this as NFTs and then use the finances. Hey, there's my friends there. Hello. They use the finances to fund their art school in Slovakia, in the design school, all right? And you can go on OpenSea at NFT Showroom to find the scrambled version of that Dali painting. So we have new markets for existing art that can then fund education. And then we have people that are getting educated themselves, students funding their own education and their own universities like Fucocious has done. So really exciting stuff there. All right, now this is, anybody see this one and know this famous NFT at the top? The burning house one that sold for over $100,000? Yeah, it's Disaster Girl. That's right. They call it Disaster Girl. Her name's Zoe Roth, and she's a bit grown up now. That was an old photo. And her dad gave her the money, and guess what she did with the money? She paid off her student debt. She paid off her student debt with that money. So it's like, wow, Disaster Girl sold for $120,000. What would I do with $120,000? I'd pay my student debt, is what she said. Anybody know this one? Which, yeah, it's close. All right, I think it's a Solana one. Not many Solana fans in here. CyberKongs, it's Gorillas, this one. This is close enough to CyberKongs. Maybe it's a bit. And this guy, again, he funded an education program through this sale of this NFT. And anybody know who this guy is? Kansas City Chiefs fans in here? Patrick? Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, exactly, quarterback for Kansas City Chiefs. So he did an NFT project and then, again, funded education for kids through the proceeds of the NFT. So we have another way. NFTs can be not only used as new funding sources, but also can be used as scholarships directly. And I'm a big Chiefs fan. So, in any case, and then the second to last way is NFTs for education, lending and borrowing. Anybody know Nexo? Anybody know this Nexo site? And in Nexo and other types of lending platforms, you can actually borrow off of the value of your Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT or other NFTs that are worth a lot of value. So you could borrow off of that and pay tuition. Or pay tuition for your kids or someone like that off of a loan or a lending. So that's another amazing way. And everybody who's against NFTs and talking about monkey pictures and things like that, they don't see that there's all this amazing value coming out of this. And then lastly is my own project. I've been in NFT since 2018. I've got one of the only patents on NFTs. And I work in education, obviously, and I build universities around the world. And I saw NFTs as an easy way to make digital credentials of the future that actually include cryptocurrency. And so I built those in 2018. I had no idea that NFTs were going to be so popular. Nobody even knew what they were back then. But my platform, which I use it for my company, for my language schools around the world. But now I'm going to open it up to where you can create your own NFT scholarship projects and have these NFT badges, and you can create them for vulnerable populations, for your own community, for your own kids, and you can tokenize these digital badges, because if you click that QR code, or if you go to the website and put in that unique identifier there, then you'll get to the award data. So there's data behind these NFTs about an award that you can create if you're a sponsor of education, or you can earn. So what we're talking about is NFTs can be also used with my platform as a way to create scholarships and, again, new forms of merit-based scholarships for achievement. So then this is just the tip of the iceberg. So these are some different ways. And if you'd like to know about how we're going to pay off and tokenize $600 billion in student debt in the next 7 years, then you can go to our site, getsmart.net. You can see who my advisors are. It's got some pretty prominent people, even though I'm a kind of a nobody. And this is going to be one of the first digital badges that we're going to make here for the underdogs. All right, this is just an example of what you can do now with NFTs. And so if you want to get in touch with me, here's my information, or I'm around. And I just want to say thank you very much to everybody for coming out. And yeah, contact me later. Cheers, man.
Hey, that was great. I'm so glad that we were able to get you on stage and that it all worked out.